can you talk a little bit about just how entertaining these games in the Cy-Hawk rivalry have gotten over? I mean, they've always been, but it seems like the last few years it's taken it up a notch.
No, they've been really good games, and I think it's a credit to a lot of good players playing at a very high level. The fans have been great. I'm sure they'll have a big crowd Wednesday, so it's been a great showcase for our sport, a great showcase for our state, and I think the people outside of our state even have kind of bought into this, and it's been fun to be a part of.
Does it help having somebody of Ashley's magnitude who has, not only played it, but like last year shined when it really mattered?
Yeah, I think that, obviously you have two really good teams, and then you have high-profile individual players too. I mean, the storylines, you guys won't have any trouble writing about this one, I don't think. So, and Ash being from Iowa City, and it's the last time she's going to play against them and all that stuff. But I think she's really done well in these games, and the players that the star players, the players that everyone gives the most attention to are the ones that usually try and show up in these games and have those kind of moments. So she'll be ready to go.
I know you always talk about, like, the cool thing in these games is somebody like a John Neal emerges. Leading up to it, do you ever get, like, a sneaking suspicion, especially from your side, like, this person could do it this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think you always kind of look around, and I've always believed that in these kind of games, it's usually the star players, I don't want to say cancel each other out, but that's kind of the way it seems to work. And so you're watching practice, and you're watching people, and how do they get ready for these games? Do they seem excited about it? Are they excited for the moment? So yeah, you're always looking, and obviously for our team, there's kids that I think have the capability of doing it, and for us it's about making a couple shots and getting into the flow of the game, and hopefully we'll find one of those kids Wednesday.
When you face an offense the caliber of Iowa's, how good is it to have Lexi Donarski on your side?
No, Lex is a really good defender, and obviously when you're playing them, the way they score, it's and the pace they play with, and you're not, you don't shut out or slow, whatever the word is, an offense like that. So you got to be smart, and historically, when we've had success against teams like this, we've played, our attention to detail in our scouting report's good. We're a team that historically has not fouled much. Do you defensive rebound? Do you win special situations? All the stuff that you can control, when the game stops. Are you organized? Do you know what you're doing? And for us, staying out of foul trouble is big, and hopefully we can do that Wednesday.
How hard is it to do what she's done her entire career here, which is guard the best player on the other team game after game?
Well, number one, no one really cares about defense. So you got to, unless you're on the men's side, of course. But I think you have to embrace that, and I think from the day she got here, there's a willingness to be a defender and to be competitive, and yeah, everyone on our team knows whoever's at the top of the scouting report, Lexi Donarski is going to guard him. It's not even like everyone just kind of, okay, who do I get, kind of thing, and that's good because she likes to compete, and she has to play against really good players every single time, and that doesn't change game to game. And she embraces that. She likes it, and we got to hope that we can give her the help she needs. But she's a really good defender, and like I said, she loves to do it.
A lot is made about Ashley versus Caitlin, and rightfully so. But on their end, Monica Sonano's a good post presence. Is this the type of game that Stephanie Suarez is kind of brought in for a key piece in that situation?
No, Steph is going to be really important, and I think the obvious storyline is certainly two in-state kids, but it's not a pay-per-view one-on-one game. Steph's going to have to play well, but this is her first situation where she's been in a game like this. The motion that goes with it, and Mo has really been a big part of our game plan too. So. We've got to do the things that we can control, and I think the big thing for us is is not overthinking some things. Sometimes as coaches, you try too hard, and this is our 8th game of the season. We got 30 to play. This is different. It's a huge game, but this is a little different than football when you only get they only get 12 of them. I think we got to all be careful that you don't get too crazy about it, but it's going to be fun, and I think our kids are really excited about the opportunity.
Last year you talked about how big having a sweep of the in-state opponents was. Is that something that's important again this year?
Oh, yeah. It's always big. For us, I'm not saying it's big for anyone else. Maybe people don't care, but this is a big deal for us. Always has been since the day I got here. You want to be the best team in your own state, and try to be. And we play everyone in our state, and 2 of the 3 we play on the road. And so the years that we've swept in-state stuff, we've accomplished a lot in those years, but that's right at the top of the list for me. I'm not saying it's for anyone else, but for me, it's a big deal, and I think it's a big deal for our fans. And we play them all in a short amount of time, and we got 2 to go.
There was a time when it was a big deal just to get this game on statewide TV, and now you're on ESPN too. What does it say about the programs and just the rivalry?
No, I think it's a great tribute to everyone, especially the players. I think the schools that have done so much to support the women's programs, and I've said, you've heard me say it forever, and we have 4 really good women's basketball programs in our state. And I think to get this game on a national stage, on a night where there aren't a ton of big games, it's going to be maybe the most watched women's game of the evening if you look at the way the schedule's fallen. So the chance to showcase our state, our programs, the fan bases, I think, and some great players. I think it's a great marketing opportunity, and one that we'd have to pay a lot of money to do it. So I'm glad someone else is doing that.
Have you or the players in general have any conversations with Stephanie Soares and how this rivalry is and how the atmosphere is going to be in Iowa City?
No, the only thing I said to her yesterday was, I said, you're going to have a lot of fun on Wednesday, and she kind of laughed and well, that's part of the reason I came here. She wants to play in those games. So this is one of those things where the kids who are from Iowa, it's kind of in their DNA, and the other kids figure it out really quick. I mean, you have to kind of be in a cave to not know that. So they know. I mean, they get it. And but like I said, it's one of those games that you want to. If you're a competitive kid, you want to play in. And you want to play a great team in a great environment, and that's the opportunity we have on Wednesday.
I know you're a big reminder guy. Have you talked to your team about the comeback in Iowa City against your team, or do you just look at this team as a separate entity and not worry about that?
Nah, I used to do a lot of that and overthink. These guys don't care. I mean, it's like, hey, coach, we're playing Wednesday. What happened 2 years ago doesn't matter because we've been on the good and the bad of it. But no, maybe a couple of the kids who played remember a couple of things, but most of them, they don't pay attention to that stuff. I'm not saying it's good or bad. They just don't. I mean, players forget quickly and move on to the next thing, and their focus is Wednesday, not what happened a couple of years ago.
I know how much respect you have for Iowa, but they've gone from number 4 to number 16 in the polls. Is there any less of has your opinion of them as the caliber team they have gone down at all in terms of the fact that they have 3 losses and they're not number 4 anymore, they're 16?
No, I vote on the top 25 for the coaches, and it's really hard to vote early in the year. I mean, look what they lost to. I mean, they lost to UConn, who's not bad. They lost to NC State, who's not bad, and they lost at Kansas State, who's really good by 1 point. So, no, the rankings don't mean anything. Our kids know how good they are, and I think they know how good they are. So, it's still the game that everyone's talked about from the beginning. And on a national stage, yeah, it's different. It's not 2 top 10 teams playing each other, but that's a non-factor for us.